When the world locked down in 2020, panic spread faster than the virus. Governments scrambled to provide relief, and the United States responded with unprecedented speed, releasing trillions of dollars through the CARES Act. The goal? Save lives, businesses, and the economy. But where there's money and chaos, there's always someone waiting to exploit the cracks. As Americans struggled to survive, a new kind of criminal emerged: white-collar scammers who used laptops and lies instead of guns and masks. These weren't your typical criminals. They were doctors, entrepreneurs, social media influencers, even reality TV stars. And they all saw COVID-19 as their golden ticket. Let's start with Maurice Fane, a reality TV star known for his flashy lifestyle on Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. Fane claimed he owned a trucking company and needed $3.7 million in PPP loans to cover payroll. Sounds reasonable, until investigators discovered he spent the money on a $5.7 million Rolls-Royce, jewelry, and child support. No employees, no trucks, just designer clothes and Instagram posts. He was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Then there's Danielle Miller, an Instagram influencer who flaunted designer bags, champagne getaways, and a luxury lifestyle, all funded with stolen identities. Using victims' personal information, she applied for over $1 million in PPP loans. She didn't stop at fraud, she made it fashion. But the FBI was watching. When agents raided her swanky apartment, the evidence was all over, literally. She was sentenced to 5 years. If you found this story shocking, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life crime and fraud cases. Or take Mustafa Kadiri of Orange County, California, a man who claimed he needed COVID relief funds to keep his businesses afloat. But those businesses didn't exist. Instead, he bought luxury sports cars, including a Lamborghini Huracan, a Ferrari, and a Bentley. He even posted photos online. Authorities seized the vehicles and charged him with wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering. He now faces up to 30 years. And then there's Lee Price III from Houston, Texas, possibly one of the most shameless fraudsters of all. Price received over $1.6 million in PPP funds, which he immediately used to buy a Lamborghini Urus, Rolex watches, and trips to strip clubs. He spent thousands in just days. But luck didn't last. Investigators quickly tracked his spending trail. He was arrested and sentenced to over 9 years. Each case followed the same pattern: fake businesses, fake documents, and real greed. The PPP system was built in haste, and in those early days, background checks were minimal. These scammers knew that and exploited the loopholes. But while the money came fast, so did the investigations. Agencies like the FBI, SBA Inspector General, and the IRS formed special COVID task forces. And slowly, the dominoes began to fall. Even more disturbing is how medical professionals joined the fraud wave. In Miami, Dr. Andres Mendez billed Medicare for nearly $5 million in fraudulent COVID-19 testing, charging for services that never happened. Meanwhile, his clinic became a front for personal gain. He's now facing serious federal charges and could lose his license and his freedom. But perhaps one of the most ironic cases came from California. Where a man named Andrew Marnell used fraudulent PPP funds not for a business, but for gambling in Las Vegas. He secured nearly $9 million, then hit the casinos, spending hundreds of thousands on blackjack and risky bets. It was Vegas-style greed with taxpayer money. The only bet he lost? Thinking he wouldn't get caught. These stories aren't just entertaining, they're infuriating. While small businesses were shutting down and families were struggling to survive, These individuals were partying with money that wasn't theirs. And for every dollar they stole, someone else was denied the help they desperately needed. But justice is catching up. The Department of Justice has now charged hundreds of individuals with pandemic-related fraud. Billions have been recovered, and many more are still under investigation. The message is loud and clear. COVID fraud isn't just wrong, it's federal crime. So why did so many risk it all? Was it desperation, arrogance, or the illusion that no one was watching? For most, it was simple. They thought they were smarter than the system. But the system was built to catch up, even if it took time. As investigators continue to uncover new cases, one thing is certain: greed never stays hidden forever. The flashy cars, the luxury vacations, the viral posts, it all eventually leads to one place: courtrooms, convictions, and cold prison cells. This is the dark side of the pandemic, where scammers thrived while others suffered, where people traded their morals for designer brands and high-end rides. And while some made millions, all of them lost the one thing they couldn't scam: time. Because in the end, no matter how clever you are, luck always runs out. If you found this story shocking, don't forget to subscribe for more real-life crime and fraud cases.